friends, next is Unit 27 Asset Classification and Provisioning Norms. We can discuss NPA. What is NPA? Interest or installment of principal remains out of order for greater than 90 days. In case of term loans, it will be NPA. Account is out of order for overdraft or cash credit. Bill remains out of overdue greater than 90 days for bills purchased or discounted. Short duration crops, installment or interest remain overdue for 2 crop seasons will become NPA. Long duration crop, installment or interest remains overdue for 1 crop season will remain NPA. Out of order means outstanding balance remains continuously in excess of the sanction limit of drawing power. That is greater than 90 days, it will become NPA. NPA is classified as substandard doubtful loss assets from 31 March 2005. In case of substandard, it will be NPA for less than or equal to 12 months. Doubtful remained as substandard for 12 months. That is, it is NPA for 24 months. Loss asset considered uncollectible should be written off. This loss asset should be written off. If arrears are paid by borrower, NPA account becomes standard account. Next is provisioning of doubtful asset. D1, D2, D3. D1 means doubtful up to 1 year. D2 means 1 to 3 years and D3 is greater than 3 years. Provision up to 1 year for doubtful asset D1, provision is 25%. D2 it is 40% and D3 it is 100%. These all are very important. It is already asked in exams. For unsecured doubtful asset, provisioning is 100%. Substandard assets. 50% provision on total outstanding without making any allowance for ECGC guarantee cover and securities available. So, substandard asset has 15% of provisioning. Unsecured exposures which are identified as substandard should attract additional provision of 10%. So, its unsecured portion must be provisioned up to 10%. Total 25% outstanding balance provisioning for unsecured doubtful asset is 100%. Next is standard asset. Farm credit, agricultural activities and SMEs 0.25% provisioning. Advance to commercial real estate is 1%. Advance to commercial real estate residential housing sector it is 0.75%. Housing loan at teaser rate at 22% high risk it is 0.4% after 1 year. All other loans and advance it is 0.4% provisioning is required. Medium enterprises 0.4%. PCR is provisioning coverage ratio. PCR equal to provisioning by gross NPA. Majority of banks achieved a PCR of 70% in 2010. If there is surplus under PCR, that is provisioning coverage ratio, it is moved to counter cyclical provisioning buffer. This counter cyclical provisioning buffer indicates extent of funds a bank has to keep aside to cover losses. RBI strategic debt restructuring SDR. It is to clean up balance sheet through SDR. Convert debts or loans into equity holding in a defaulting company. Change management, find a suitable buyer, etc. is done under SDR. Former there was CDR, Corporate Debt Restructuring Scheme in 2001 and that is for default greater than 10 crore, 10 CR. Company was taken over within 18 months. Now CDR is abolished by RBI. Loans with a moratorium for payment of interest. In case of bank finance given for industrial project or agricultural plantation etc., where moratorium period is available for payment of interest become due only after moratorium or gestation period is over. So, such amounts of interest do not become overdue and hence do not become NPA. In case of housing loan, or similar advance granted to staff members, interest is payable after recovery of principal. Interest need not be considered as overdue from the first quarter onwards. For agricultural advances, this NPA becomes overdue if it remains over. This agricultural advance become NPA if it remain overdue for 2 crop seasons. Project loans are given for economic ventures. Project loan means any term loan which have been extended for the purpose of setting up of an economic venture. Takeout finance is for funding long-term infrastructure projects, big projects. Takeout finance is the product emerging in the context of funding of long-term infrastructure projects. Under this arrangement, the institution or bank financing infrastructure projects will have an arrangement with any financial institution for transferring to the latter the outstanding in respect of such financing in their books on a predetermined basis. Post-shipment suppliers credit. In respect of post-shipment credit extended by banks covering export of goods to countries for which the Euro Export Credit Guarantee Corporation ECGC coverage is available, Exim Bank has introduced a guarantee cum refinance program whereby in the event of default, Exim Bank will pay the guaranteed amount to the bank within a period of 30 days from the day the bank invokes the guarantee after the exporter has filed claim with ECGC. So if this becomes NPA, ECGC will pay. So if bank receives payment from Exim Bank, it is not treated as NPA. In case of export project finance, it can become NPA. In respect of export finance, there could be instance where the actual importer has paid the dues to the bank abroad, but the bank in turn is unable to remit the amount due to political developments such as war, strife, UN embargo, etc. So if these conditions comes, this export project finance extended can become NPA. So it can be turned NPA in the books of banks. But the importer's country is not allowing the funds to be remitted due to political or other reasons. Asset classification may be made after a period of 1 year from the date the amount was deposited by the importer in the bank abroad. So here a 1 year gap is given before the asset turning NPA if this happens, like war, strife, etc. Credit card accounts. In credit card accounts, the amount spent is billed to the card users through a monthly statement with a definite due date for repayment. So banks give an option for either payment of full amount or a fraction of it, that is minimum amount due by the credit card holder and the balance amount in subsequent billing cycle. A credit card account will be treated as NPA if the minimum amount due as mentioned in the statement, this statement is not paid fully within 90 days from the next statement date. The gap between two statements should not be more than a month. So this will become NPA if he is not paying within 90 days from the date of statement. Provisioning norms. A non-performing asset causes twofold impact on the profitability of bank. First, bank ceases to earn from such asset and bank has to make provision. These two things bank has to make if the asset turns NPA. Loss assets. Loss assets should be written off. If loss assets are permitted to remain in the books for any reason, 100% outstanding should be provided for. So it is good to write of this loss assets, doubtful assets. 100% extent to which the advance is not covered by the realizable value security in which bank has a valid records and realizable value is estimated on a realistic basis. So here in doubtful assets 100% of provisioning is to be done if we cannot realize from the securities if the realizable value security is very less. In regard to secured position, provision may be on the following basis. That is, period for which advance has remained in doubtful category. If it is for 1 year, 25% provision, 1 to 3 years D2, 40% provision, and D3, that is more than 3 years in doubtful category, it has to be given 100% provisioning. Next is substandard asset. A substandard asset has a general provisioning of 15%. On total 15% of total outstanding is made in case as provisioning in case of substandard assets, and it must be made without any allowance for ECGC cover, guarantee cover, and services available. Unsecured exposures which are identified as substandard would attract additional provisioning of 10%, that is total 25% on the outstanding balance. Provisional requirement for unsecured doubtful asset is 100%. So if it is unsecured doubtful, then there is no securities so we have to give 100% provisioning. Standard assets. Banks are required to make general provision for standard assets at the following rates for funded outstanding on global loan portfolio basis. Farm credit to agricultural activities and small micro enterprise SME sector 0.25%, advance to commercial CRE sector 1%, CRERH, that is commercial real estate residential housing sector 0.75, housing loans at 2% teaser rate, it is 0.40 after 1 year from the due on which rates are reset at higher rates if account remains standard. All other loans and advance not included under these three conditions is provisioning is 0.4%. Provision on standard assets are not to be reckoned for arriving at net NPA. Medium enterprise will attract 0.4% standard asset provisioning. Provisioning coverage ratio PCR. Provisioning coverage ratio is essentially the ratio of provisioning to gross non-performing assets and indicates the extent of a fund a bank has to keep aside to cover loan losses. So this buffer has to be created at good times so that it can be used for absorbing losses during bad times. So this PCR will enhance soundness of individual bank and NPA as well as it was decided that the bank should augment their provisioning cushions, consider specific provision against NPAs as well as floating provisions, and ensure that their total provisioning coverage ratio including floating provisions is not less than 70. So PCR must not be less than 70. Major banks achieved PCR of 70% in 2010. RBI Strategic Debt Restructuring Scheme SDR to clean up balance sheet of a bank. Balance sheet of a bank can be cleaned up through SDR. First, it was the CDR was introduced globally in 2001, but RBI revoked it. It was for debt more than 10 CR, and the companies are taken up by another management. So here, SDR allows banks to convert their debt loans into equity, holding in a defaulting company, change management if needed also, and find a suitable buyer for a company, etc. Here in SDR, the only problem banks face is to find a new buyer. or strategic investor who can buy majority of equity from the banks and take over the company within 18 months. So there is a prescribed time period 18 months in SDR. This company has to be taken over by another management in 18 months, period allowed by RBI. Central Repository of Information on Large Credit CRILC. RBI has set up CRILC to collect, store and disseminate credit data to lenders. As per RBI, before a loan account turn into an NPA, banks are required to identify incipient stress in the account by creating stress subcategories under special mention account category, SMA category. So SMA subcategories, SMA 0, SMA 1, SMA 2 is very important. This all asked in December 2019 exam also. SMA 0, here principal or interest payment are not overdue for more than 30 days, but account showing signs of incipient stress. SMA 1, principal or interest payment overdue between 31 to 60 days. SMA 2 is overdue between 61 to 90 days. Next is asset classification: substandard, secured, substandard, unsecured, doubtful 1, doubtful 2 and doubtful 3. Current provisioning is substandard 15% of those which are identified as NPA. Substandard is 25, less than 6 25%, greater than 6 is different for each type of loans. D1 25 for secured, 100 for unsecured, 40% for secured and 100% for unsecured, and D3 it is 100% for unsecured. But now the revised accelerator provisioning is 25 for substandard secured, 25 for substandard unsecured, 40 if 6 months to 1 year substandard unsecured, it is 40%. So 40 for secured, doubtful D1, for D2 and D3 and it's unsecured, it's all 100%. So 25, 40 and 100. These three percentages are coming here: 15, 25, 40. So we have to memorize this: 25, 40 and 100. Scheme for substantial structuring of stressed assets, shortly known as S. This is for large ticket loans, that is greater than 500 CR, 500 crore. Bank would convert the unsustainable debt into equity or equity related instruments. As a result, on one hand, the debt burden of the borrower is substantially reduced, and on the other hand, borrower's equity stake is also reduced. Idea behind the scheme is that banks would get upside if the company regains its old good form, and it also gives the borrower a second chance to revive the company. RBI has stipulated that for exposure of all lenders to the company should be more than rupees 500 crore. Insolvency and Bankruptcy Code IBC 2016 by Government of India is for helping banks, and the code now permit banks to push for recovery of money from a company within a period of 180 days with a grace period of further 90 days if maturity, that is 75% of creditors, agree. Some key highlights are the court process to cover insolvency of individual, unlimited liability partnership, limited liability partnership and companies, etc. Adjudicating authority for individuals and firms is present DRTs, and for corporates it would be National Company Law Tribunal NCLT. Bankrupt individuals would be barred from contesting elections. Under the new law, a debtor could be jailed up to 5 years for concealing property or defrauding creditors. It will strengthen hands. This IBC will strengthen hands of lenders to recover outstanding debts by setting a deadline of 180 for companies to pay or face liquidation. To create insolvency professionals, it will also create good database and form disseminate of information to possible related to debtors, and workers' salary for up to 24 months will be given priority in case of liquidation of assets, and money due to employees from PPF gratuity fund will not be included in the estate of a bankrupt company or individual. So that's all for this chapter. Friends, if you like this video, please share and subscribe, and also thank you, friends.
Why am I looking at you? You're a picture in a frame.